Hey there, I'm Rob Nunnery, and you are listening to The Shortlist, where I share this week's post and article and podcast on what's been going on the last week and some insights that have come up for me. And that's what this is I share about my life with chronic illness, chronic pain, living with a permanent ostomy and no butthole. This week's article is My Story Matters Less Now That I'm Not Suffering. And essentially, it's people in my comments will say their pain is nothing compared to what I've been through. And I found myself doing the exact same thing recently, which is absolute nonsense because it's not true. Let's get to it. There's a comment I get on almost every video, some version of, quote, my stuff is nothing compared to what you've been through, end quote. I always want to tell them the same thing. It's all relative to your own experience. The worst pain that you've ever felt is probably very similar to the worst pain I've ever felt. This week, I have realized I've been doing the same exact thing to myself. I'm living in less pain now than I have in years. And somewhere in my head, that started to mean that my story matters a little bit less. Danélle, my wife, lives in pain every single day. She's got an endoprosthesis that is basically titanium as her femur. Same with the hip that is metal going all the way into a knee replacement that is also metal with some cement around it. And all of that stuff should not be in a human body. So what happens when you have metal connecting to, or titanium connecting to bone, is you have to deal with a lot of pain. And the same North Star I had at the beginning of this year was whatever it takes to have a better quality of life. Her situation is unique in respect to the other option would be to amputate her leg. And there's no guarantee that the doctors can give her that will actually cause her less pain and give her a better quality of life because of phantom pains. So it's a challenging situation, but I found myself start comparing my situation, which feels really fortunate and blessed right now compared to hers, that my situation matters a little bit less, and I've been having struggles and doubts around, and maybe some guilt around feeling better again. And it's not just her; other people are also in the middle of their worst scenario right now. And with me being on the other side of surgery, I'm out playing paddle, I'm playing golf, I'm swimming on my honeymoon. So who am I anymore to keep talking about this stuff? And then I remind myself the facts. I don't have normal anatomy. I poop involuntarily through my abdomen into a bag, and I will have to do that for the rest of my life. I don't have a butthole. The challenges that come along with that, they don't change because I'm in less pain. And honestly, what's true is that I can actually tell the story better now. When I've been white knuckling through pain, all I can report is from inside it, what's happening in that very moment. The clarity and big picture I have now is what lets me be honest about how this whole experience has actually been. And what's really strange for me is how normal it all feels right now. Outside of some body image stuff, which I'm still trying to come to terms with, the ostomy feels kind of just like a fact about me instead of this hard thing that I have to manage. It hasn't stopped me from doing anything that I want to do. Literally anything. We went on 7 flights on this trip: the Seychelles, Durban, back to George, including a little round trip on a small plane to Platte Island. Swimming, paddle, 2 weeks out of a suitcase. I had the bag underneath the stealth belt all week during the trip, whether I was on the plane or swimming or playing paddle. Just no issues, no incidents. And their slogan, I love, it's go anywhere, do anything, and it's the absolute truth. I'll have a link at the bottom of this page where you can see my pics and see what I wear on a daily basis. Life can get so much better with an ostomy. For all the people out there who are scared of it or think it's going to make their life worse, I can only speak for myself, but it genuinely saved my life. My quality of life is 100 times better now than it was over the last 4 years. And it's a really weird and strange place to be, because when I was first approached with this might be something that you need to do in respect to an ostomy, my initial reaction was just absolutely not, no chance, no way will it ever need to get to that point. I was in a pretty big my disease actually. Years ago, I was in pain every day. Ceton drains, which are essentially little wires that are threaded through tracts in and around your anus. Fistulas, which are the tunnels that the wires would go through. Abscesses are these infections that would build up when the fluid had nowhere to drain out of. All of it. It was truly awful. And if that version of me that was managing all of that could see this version of me that's swimming in the Indian Ocean, not thinking twice about the bag, I think it'd be really hard for him to believe how I'm feeling physically, emotionally, mentally. Having it be normal now is actually the whole point and lesson for anyone that might be facing an ostomy or managing really bad chronic illness. It shows that a full life, a great life, is still possible. So what's going on at home? Somewhere in the middle of the honeymoon, I notice I miss George. Our mornings, sunrise and sunsets, the driving range, our dog, our family here. With such a transient life over the last decade, I've struggled to feel at home somewhere. I feel at home in George and with Danélle. This time I was eager to get home and back into routine. And that's a really weird sentence to say. Yesterday, I gathered the paperwork for my spousal visa. Once it's submitted, I can't leave South Africa while it's processing, and that could be months. And honestly, I might have felt like trapped or claustrophobic having that be the case before, but I feel relieved even writing that out, because that just to me means I get more of what I love, which is the routine and life we have at home and that we're building together. Our appointment is next Friday with immigration. I will keep you posted. So what's going on with Flexara? It's been an iteration loop on repeat the last month or two. Still tweaking the formula. We're chasing a really specific osmolarity target, and that's a number that determines whether the electrolytes actually absorb into your bloodstream or just pass straight through you. So the osmolarity target keeps coming in a bit low. Every adjustment means that the lab has to mix it, make a new sample. They have to test the osmolarity after it gets sent to me, and we have to see if it dissolves well, tastes okay. All of the things that make a good powder mix feel like it's nice to drink. And then if the osmolarity target comes in low again or maybe too high, then we have to adjust it to get right into the specific range we're looking at. But each of those iterations and loops requires um, tasting, dissolving, dissolution, all of it. So it's not the fastest process in the world, but I feel like we're really close and I'm excited. And the waitlist landing page is finally up. It's been a little bit of a project even getting that up. It shouldn't take long, but it feels like, I don't know, everything's just moving a bit slower, and I'm trying to be okay with that because I don't want to push too hard and burn out or anything like that. So it'll come in time. But if you'd like to know when the formula is actually ready and we're ready to ship, I'm targeting a September 1st go to market date. I don't know if that's going to hold, and I'm not going to beat myself up if it doesn't come out by then, but it will be out soon. And I'll keep giving updates at flexr.com if you sign up for the waitlist, and you'll get founding batch pricing as well. We are starting off with 20,000 units, which those are 20,000 sachets essentially, which means we're going to sell them in 30 packet boxes. And that means we are going to be selling 667 boxes at launch. So that's kind of the inventory place we went to just for the first founding batch of the test. And I'm going to want feedback, and we're going to make iterations based on what you like on it. So please sign up. It would mean the world to me. And you can do that at flexara.com. The link will be in the show notes, as well as flexara.com. What's going on with health and fitness? Paddle. Played paddle this week. And just a side note, everybody in the US says padel, and everywhere I've been outside the US says paddle. So I'm saying paddle. So I don't know what's correct, but I'm saying paddle. But played paddle this week for the first time since moving to George. I've mostly played pickleball here. Been, as I mentioned, hacking away at the driving range, trying not to be so much of a hack. But with paddle, most of it's learning to play the glass. Everything's a slice, so the ball will die on the wall. If you hit topspin into the glass, then it sits up really easy and it's very easy to handle. So the instincts are a bit backwards compared to tennis and pickleball. For example, when somebody's about to smash in tennis and pickleball, you back up to give yourself some time. And paddle, you actually want to move forward and to the side because you're going to play it off the wall because the wall is going to actually give you more time to play defense with that. So having to unlearn some things point by point, day by day, same as when tennis habits had to die when I started playing pickleball. Mainly, it's just fun being a beginner again. And it's true across a lot of areas of my life with paddle, golf. I'm trying to learn Afrikaans slowly but surely. Even Flexara. I'm not really good at any of it yet. And honestly, that's what I'm enjoying more than anything else. But a question before I go here and as we wrap up. I'm a beginner, as I mentioned, at 4 things right now: paddle, golf, Afrikaans, and building Flexara. Whatever you're a beginner at, what's the best piece of advice anyone has ever given you? Please leave in the comments. I'll read all of them. And until next time, my name's Rob Nunnery. This is the short list. And as full disclosure, Stealth Belt is a paid partner. I've worn their belts since I first got my loop colostomy in 2025, well before they even considered partnering with me. So if you do have an ostomy, or you're heading towards one, or you know somebody that has one, you can find my picks at stealthbelt.org/pages/Robs hyphen picks. It's a mouthful. We got to update that. But the link will be in the show notes. And until next time, Rob Nunnery, thank you for listening to The Shortlist.